people keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Hello everybody, welcome to a bit of a double review at the moment. I just want to get some things out of the way real quick so that way I'm a little more caught up. So I'm not only going to be reviewing one thing, I'm going to be just doing two. It might be a little more rapid fire at the moment, you know, that's how it is. But we're going to be talking about Moon Knight and Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness. Now, just to quickly get into it, I think we'll start off with Moon Knight. Now, with Moon Knight, I have a bit of a familiarity with comics a little bit. I'm not like the ultra omega expert on Moon Knight. I just know enough to get around the block, you know, and I have a fascination with this guy. He is one of those obscure-esque type characters that people like to bring up. I know people kind of like talk about him like he's a, you know, Marvel's version of Batman, which I could definitely see the similarities there, especially when you dive into the history. And Disney decided that he was going to be one of the newer people they throw in on the Disney Plus train. Now, Oscar Isaac, I think he did a well enough job for what he was given. He's a very amazing actor, and I think for a character such as Moon Knight, he is an ideal person, especially when you have someone that needs to do multiple personalities, and you need someone who can handle that and offer enough of the distinction between them so that way you can tell. And he does it really well. There are questionable choices with his character that I've just never been big on, you know, especially when some of his personalities appear to be more like weaker, timid in a sense, which in concept I think it works, but the way they handle it, it just comes off a little bit icky. The plot itself is kind of like average-esque, albeit though, you know, they try to do some new things, you know, which kind of work in some regards, and some not so much. Ethan Hawke was just an alright villain. You know, he did what he could with the script he was given, you know, and I appreciate that, you know, they didn't try to pull any, like, last minute, you know, here's the surprise villain of the whole thing. You know, he was there from the first episode all the way through, so I'm glad they kept that up, at least in terms of consistency. The character of Layla, I did not really like. I don't have anything against the actress, as I am not familiar with her, so I can't judge her on her acting ability. I can only judge the writing of her character, who comes off a lot more brutish and just mean and just like obnoxious to Moon Knight, and gets a lot of gets way more screen time than I think Moon Knight gets, and gets a lot more focus. And there's even some cringy lines typical of Marvel that they throw in there that's just kind of like, why? You didn't really need to do that at all. But hey, whatever, I guess. It's all just pure crap anyways. The tone of the show is iffy. It's like they try to act like they're going through dark stuff, but it really doesn't even hit the field. And like, there's only like brief moments when Moon Knight should act like Moon Knight, but they cut it away too early, and it just doesn't work. It's just Moon Knight without enough teeth, you know, and it really sucks because that's what Disney is. They've hampered themselves so much on the idea of this thing, you know, and it just doesn't work out too well. Now, the suit of Moon Knight is fine, albeit I hate it that like almost 80% of the scenes I see him in, it's always like CG'd, and it just doesn't look right, and it really shows, especially when you see the actual practical suit there, and it's like, oh, that looks so much better. You know, like, I could understand maybe you gotta CGI the cape or whatever, but I've noticed it's like the whole body they do it, and it just does not work out too well there. And, like, the ending of the show, they like try to do some mindfuckery shit that doesn't really work out too well. You know, they're trying to do this like, oh, was it all a hallucination the whole time? Like, no, it wasn't. It was already too far gone to even bother with that kind of concept. And then they even skip out on the actual final fight. We don't even see Moon Knight beat the villain, because we have this whole bit where the villain has Moon Knight pinned, Layla's getting attacked by goons, and it looks like all hope is lost. And so suddenly Moon Knight switches to another personality, and we cut to black, and suddenly the villain is beaten, and it's like, wait, what? Wait, we didn't even get to see him do the moment where he has the final blow. Like, it was very blue ballsy. Like, you took that away from us, you know? All in all, I really didn't enjoy Moon Knight. Like, the first episode I thought was good, but then as soon as it kept going, it was just like, oh, really bad. Just not really. It definitely was not one of the better shows from Disney Plus. Now let's move on to the movies. Let's move on to Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Now, I might have a bit of a controversial take on this. I thought it was fine. You know, I know some people probably are going to call me an idiot and call me a lofty because I have this take, but I thought it was fine. You know, the movie, like, I admit this movie has flaws. No doubt about that. It kind of has to hinder on people having watched WandaVision, which is like, yeah, that does suck. I will admit, that's kind of a shitty thing you have to do. You have to watch WandaVision in order to get the better context of what Wanda's doing. So if you're only just watching the movies, you're a little bit out of luck. And you know, people bring up the issue that Wanda has way more screen time than Doctor Strange, and I'm just, you know, and it's like, well, she's the villain of the movie, and I think they even treat her as such. I mean, minus like the last 10 minutes of her appearance, you know. So I think in that regard, it's fair enough to say that she has to get a sizable role in the movie, you know. You bring in America Chavez, which I know a lot of people were not big on. Me, I wasn't so sure. You know, the actress was fine, and I think the character was actually pretty alright. She wasn't, like, Mary Sue-ish or anything, and she wasn't really, like, stealing any thunder. And more or less the plot is, like, yeah, Wanda is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She wants to go to another universe and pluck some other version of her kids and bring them to her. You know, and, like, I know people were like, oh, well, that's just stupid. Why is she doing that? And I was thinking, like, well, she was kind of already mentally fucked up in WandaVision, considering she, you know, took over a small town and held it hostage. And then she finds the evil, scary, magical Darkhold book, which make her even more cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So, I mean, I'm kind of justifying it, like, she's just fucking crazy, and then she drank more Kool-Aid. You know, that's just what I was taking in that one there. I know people will disagree. You know, and obviously there's a scene, everyone knows about it, with the Illuminati. I do not like that one, I'll admit. That was kind of, like, dumb, especially with, like, how Wanda easily beats some characters like Mr. Fantastic and Black Bolt with ease, and how, like, Captain Carter and Maria Rambeau, Captain Marvel, actually get a full extended fight scene with Wanda. You know, it's just, I'll admit, it was really dumb, I'll admit it. I'll admit that. Then, you know, the movie itself, it has, like, some Sam Raimi, like, painting on it. Like, that's what I took away from this, that it was a Marvel movie, but you could kind of tell Sam Raimi was holding the brush on it, because there's a lot of stuff that was going on that definitely was heavy Raimi stuff. You know, and I know some people want to say that, like, the ending was, like, MCU thing, even though I'm not big on using that word, because that's a very double-edged sword to me, where it's, like, it's not wrong, but it's, like, it just also, it kind of paints a bad light, so I try not to say that, you know, because people talk about how Doctor Strange didn't even beat Wanda. It was America Chavez and Wanda herself. But it was like, the whole point of the movie, at least from what I saw, was, you know, Doctor Strange realizing that there is another way to do it. Because it's like a lesson he learns from Infinity War and Endgame, where it's like, you know, when he gives up the stone, and it's like, yeah, this is the one thing this is the only way we can do to win. And it's him learning, well, there is always another way. And realizing that he can't quite beat, like, the one way that he could, like, beat Wanda is to take, you know, America Chavez's powers, which is what Wanda's trying to do, but in doing that, that would kill her. And even then, America is, like, telling Steven to do it, you know, because that's the greater good. And Steven is like, no, there is another way. And he encourages America to use her powers, because that's a big point of the movie for her, is she's unable to quite use her abilities. And I thought that was, like, he inspired her to you know, use her powers and, you know, fight off Wanda. You know, and, like, I don't know, I just did not feel that was like a typical MCU thing for me. That's just my 2 cents. I thought it was, like, a fine, pretty average movie, pretty decent, you know, for the most part. It's definitely got a lot of flaws to it. There is no doubt about that, and I'm not defending those flaws, because I think those flaws are fucking stupid. But that's just how it is. Beyond that, I thought it was okay. You know, the acting was pretty decent. You know, Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, you know, they do a really excellent job. The new chick that they got for America Chavez, I forget her name. I don't think I can pronounce it, even if I could. It was like something with an X, so I don't know. I thought she was fine. She did all right for what she's got, and I think this was her first movie. And if so, I think, hey, she did all right, you know. And I mean, I thought she was all right. But yeah, that's my quick little double pack review for Moon Knight and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I would have done full reviews for these, but I just really need to catch up on stuff real quick, and so I figure, fuck it, just get these out quick, fast, and dirty. Anyways, if you have anything in the superhero genre that I should check out and review, movies, TV shows, anime, games, comics, etc., leave it down in the comment section below, because I actually read those. I actually want to read those. Now, I'm gonna go drink some coffee and subject to myself more pain. I'll see you all on the next video or live stream of whatever the fuck I'm doing. Goodbye.